Content warning. The following video may contain material that may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. I am not giving medical advice or telling others how to live their lives. This channel is for philosophical, ideological, metaphysical, and comedy purposes only. Fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
Hello, my loves. Back to do another fucking comment reply video. I'm not feeling up to it, but I must do it. Wireless Plum 2 wrote, "Great conversation. I learned a lot." Thanks, Chris. You're welcome, Wireless. Future recluse. Oh, a future recluse. There we go. Definitely agree with cultivating positive energy and inner peace in the face of evil. It doesn't want that, and that makes all the difference. Yeah, and the more you, future recluse, the more you notice that it doesn't like that, the more bizarre things will get. Once you become aware of it, okay, I would say that this perfect comment, cultivating positive energy. When you have a negative reaction to something, something triggers you, most of us react instead of respond. And our reactions are usually driven by like a little fucking 12-year-old traumatized retard for the most part. So it always comes out wrong. And so cultivating positive energy is the answer to everything, actually, while you're being a human, because we're constantly being influenced by negative producing, negativity feeding entities. If you stop feeding them, they go away. That's why I say it's a spiritual thing. Is that, again, there's arguments for both. It's technology, it's spiritual, it's both. It seems more like us, because if it was technology, it would just do it constantly. It wouldn't notice you being happy and go away. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it's conscious. Whatever these entities are, they're conscious. What's weird is they behave like robots, though. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but they're like fake, but real at the same time. A future recluse 15 wrote, "I have taken very large doses of mushrooms, and every time my experience points to basically we are inside something that I guess you could call God in the negative sense, or the demiurge, and it is most definitely creepy and evil. It has both sides to it." That's what I'm saying. Maybe what we're dealing with is God, and it's our comfort zone finding brains that can't deal with that. That what we're seeing is the God of the reality, and he's a fucking creepy. He's not like the way we're sold to be in, Disney movies, we'll say. Like the perfect little angel. Like, he's not that. He's a fucking weirdo, dude. Like, it's like the creepy child sniffer boy with God powers. It's bizarre. But anyways, he wrote, "I have felt overwhelming euphoria and love and empowerment combined with humility and empathy, and I think honestly that is our true spiritual state. It lines up with how my limited experience with lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences have been and felt. Our true spiritual state is limitless power and love and freedom and imagination and creativity and empathy. And yet there is this evil side. It is in each of us, and we are also in it." I agree with that. He wrote, "I thought to myself there's a lot of evidence to back that up, I'll say. I could agree with that. But I could agree with an infinite amount of things, because that's the way the reality works. But a future recluse? A future recluse is on the same train of thought that I'm thinking. Sometimes he wrote, "I thought to myself last night, it doesn't want to and won't leave or get out of us, and it doesn't want us to and won't let us leave or get out of it. But we must and we will. Again, I felt it on shrooms, sober, and in spiritual experiences, and it is most definitely the evilest thing you can imagine. It hates us, and it has an extremely creepy feeling to it." Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. This thing brushed up against me once in a meditation, and it literally made me sick. It was like, how do you explain just the depths of evil? I mean, just nothing to it. So evil that its presence is fucking evil. I mean, just how do you explain it? It's like this hopeless, like it'll never find the light. It hates the light. Like there's just pure. I know exactly what he's talking about. I've had these. I think some of these experiences through meditation, though, not shrooms. I've done shrooms twice, and it was not really that. I had a few cool experiences in it, but nothing really profound or deep. That's actually all from meditation. Like everything you said, the euphoria, all that. Has an extremely creepy feeling to it. I realized too on shrooms, it wants stories. Any stories will do. It basically eats experience. It eats our stories, and it doesn't care if we follow our scripts or manage to, through sheer force of will and personal empowerment and enormous effort, break out of its scripts and create something better for ourselves. Well, actually, I've been thinking about a lot of these thoughts lately, a future recluse. Are these just coming to you as well, or is this something you've read somewhere, learned somewhere? He wrote, well, actually, it probably doesn't really want the latter, but what I'm saying is it doesn't care what the stories are, as long as it gets to have them. Good stories, redemptive stories, or stories of the most horrific suffering that end terribly. And he will do for it, but it thinks it does and can and should own us, and that is why its endgame is this AI, metaverse, virtual reality, transhumanism, microchip, internet, digital world, which it will try to trap us into. Yes, technology. You could replace the word technology with extra-dimensional beings, weapons against humanity. Like, for real. Whether you want to call it demons, you want to call it archons, whatever. Mind parasites, mind virus, entities we can't see that coexist with us. They can see us. They can read our minds. They're super, intelligent. They can bring up any good, bad, horrible thing you've done. They have access to your whole memory. He wrote, its goal is to trap everything in it. So, I also wanted to say, looking at the technology can kind of give you an idea of the way this thing is over there. Because I keep getting comments about where people are saying, like, I don't understand why people are saying it's script-like, or it's AI. Why do people keep saying that? I don't get it. Look at its technology. Technology does not come from humanity. I'm telling you. That's not us doing that. You could take 1 million humans, 1 million unborn children, raise them up to the point where they're old enough to take care of themselves, and you leave, and you just leave them to themselves. You come back 1,000 years later, and they're still going to be in that same state of living. They're not going to have rocket ships. They're not going to have computer AI systems. That is not human. They're still going to be living the same way you left them. Well, then who's the one creating it? Oh no, it's aliens. It don't matter. It's the I guess it does matter. It's the extra-dimensional beings reaching in through the psyche of humans to create what it wants. And if it's trying to trap us out there, it's probably trying to fucking trap us in here. This is a great comment. One sec. Where was I at? I should highlight where I left off. I think it does and can. Okay, but it thinks it does and can and should own us. I'm pretty sure I already read this, but anyways. And that is why its endgame is this AI, metaverse, virtual reality. Okay, yeah, I did. Microchip, internet, digital world it's trying to trap us into. Amen. He wrote, its goal is to trap everything in that so it can own and have computer power over everyone and everything. Yeah, and it's technology. What does its technology do? It observes constantly. It's like everything's got a fucking camera or a microphone built into it. Like, you can't even walk into a fucking mud hut now without being watched by something. It's just like, come on, bro. Everything's, you see it's obsessed with us, right? This is a great comment. He wrote, honestly, very much like Sauron in Lord of the Rings, and in a sense, I think Sauron is like Saturn, Kronos, the god of many religions, the ruler of time and space in this place. I think that the very idea of a god places us into a class system. The very idea of God places us into a class system. I don't know if I can say that more simply than that. I also observe reality and think there's some sort of creator, whether it created the simulation, whether it created the avatar, whether it created the soul, whether it created mind, body, and spirit, all of it. There's definitely some sort of creator. Like, humans didn't create the physical reality. Well, nothing created. Well, I don't. Might be a fucking video game, guys. We're talking about entities that whisper to us in our subconscious and sort of control humans. Are we a video game being played by something else? Is that a scary thought to a lot of people? It scares the shit out of me. I don't like that idea. He wrote, very much like Sauron in Lord of the Rings, and in a sense, I think Sauron is like Saturn, Kronos, the god of many religions, the ruler of time and space in this place. One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. And in the ring is that AI virtual reality world, a copy of a copy, that this physical world is of the true spiritual world. Like I've said, this thing is evil in the most extreme, and we have to find a way to stop it and defeat it and undo it. I honestly think that's why we're here. I don't know if it defeats it completely, but I believe that the mind virus is a part of it, and the way you defeat that is to live in like love, to live in peace, to live in harmony, to forgive, to just love. And I don't know, that's a scary thought to me, because if that's true, then love's the answer, and I don't see love in most motherfuckers. So then it's like, oh, it's okay, so we're going to be trapped here forever. A future recluse wrote, you are so on point with what you're saying. It's ridiculous, dude, and you make me laugh so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Super recluse. I do talk about some fucking dark-ass, low vibrational shit on my channel, but I do aim to make it as light as possible. I don't know why. Am I like trying to deceive people? It's harsh language to an uninitiated mind. Like, the stuff I'm saying is so fucking crazy to the average individual. Shangel Thunder wrote, the void 100%. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck we are, or what I am, Shangel. But I kept saying like it would go black. I'm like, I'm that. I'm the void, dude. But I felt the void once in a meditation. That scared the fuck out of me. I fucking ended up making a crazy video that actually, I lost subscribers to that video. I remember that was the first time I ever made a video where people were upset with me, but it was that we all do come from nothing. What if? And people didn't like it, but well, it scared a lot of people, I think. But Danielle wrote, I love you, Chris, but I found that guest very difficult to listen to. Like word salad delivered with a machine gun cadence. Okay, if I'm being completely honest, it was difficult to talk to him. He was I even said in the video, I was like, this conversation is actually very unpredictable, because I don't know, a lot of the questions I was asking, I think he was trying to cram too much information into one comment or whatever, and it just kind of came out like words. I don't know. Or maybe I also got the sense that maybe he was nervous, because he had said, well, he seemed very aggressive. He was like, okay, just ask. And I would ask a question. And the truth is, I was just trying to have like an intelligent conversation. But I think he felt like I was attacking, because he said something like, "You're really, I like that you're pressing me on these questions." It's like, I really wasn't pressing him. I was just trying to talk, and he just seemed, maybe he was nervous. I think. I mean, I don't know. He did seem kind of all around, but it may have been him trying to cram too much shit, too much of a deep thought into us, like I guess a more surface level question I was asking, but. British Empire's replied back to Danielle, same, the guy shoots out words and concepts hoping one will land or work. Sounds like Chat GTP on steroids. Got massive NPC vibes from him. I lasted 30 minutes and couldn't take no more. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't think it was that bad, but it is what it is. That's what I've seen some of his, I would say at least 10 of his videos, and he's more, he isn't that all over the place in his videos. I'd say go check out his content if you're more interested. He's sort of just an anti-nihilist. Mo Sampson wrote, "This is cutting-edge philosophy, bro. Some of the ancient Greeks tried to shut down this kind of thinking because it was a threat to their power structure." Yeah, because religion was like the only thing that would make money back then, right? Like, you're going to destroy our fucking business, and then if they're the business owners, they're the most powerful people in a monetary system, so they're the ones with all the power. So if you go against what they say, you're going to end up in a fucking box somewhere. It's the same way today. That's why truthers got much bigger balls than anybody else in this fucking reality. Mo Sampson wrote, "The brutal honesty of this channel is what keeps bringing me back. Honesty to a fucking fault, as my grandmother would say." Your grandmother was very intelligent, Mo Sampson. But is it a fault? Fuck no. Honesty is truth, and it's what we are looking for. No? Amen. Amen, Mo Sampson. We have to be brutally honest all the time, and it hurts. Okay, some people don't realize it hurts me sometimes to be brutally honest with somebody. I don't want to hurt somebody else. But it's like, what other way is there to be? Like a pretentious, fake fucking person? Like, you know what I'm saying? What else are you going to do? Are you going to lie? And Grifter Buster 71 wrote, "Is Stephen defaming you for being a felon?" I don't know. I don't watch his channel, and I think anybody that watches his channel is confused. But I've heard from some people he does say some good shit. So if he's still a true channel, I don't want to sway people away from his channel. But to me, the guy's a fucking dickhead, just like a child. He wrote, "If he is speaking truth about you, then he is telling people the truth. I have no chips in the game, but I am a felon. I sold a bag of weed to a cop when I was 17. You know, I'm pretty sure it got expunged after my program, but I did have a felony, whatever." He wrote, okay, that's the worst thing about me. He wrote, "I have no chips in the game, just trying to get the truth on this matter. The only defense against evil is Joshua Hamasake, the Christ Jesus. I did make response videos on my other channel. He is pessimistic, and the demon of despair is coming through some of his videos." Oh God, dude, the demon. If you actually, I should go and watch channel now and actually critique it myself just to see what's going on with the guy. I'm almost interested in doing that now, because like the way I look at reality, he's probably infested with what I would call demons. I would say completely controlled by the thing that reaches into reality and creates technology and whispers shit in people's ears and blah blah. He is the physical manifestation of said thing. To me, he's totally an agent. He wrote, my videos are on Sean Sweeney. Just to be fair, I don't know you or Steven. I wouldn't even have known about you until I seen his video. Like I said, I have no chips in the game. I don't know what. I was Grifter Buster. Go tell me about it, dude. If you want to watch the guy's channel, maybe you can tell me what he's defaming me. He's defaming. Oh no, the actual reason he's defaming me is because he's a fuckboy. In a nutshell, that's what's actually going on. And the moment I'm done talking about this douchebag, I'm going to be right back into love. So the little demon's got about 30 seconds to play with me. It really works that way, guys. But anyways. He attacked me oddly in a weird way, but then I had seen that he did this with several other channels that I agree with, blah blah. In a nutshell, he attacked me in an odd way, and when he extended an olive branch, he had already threatened me and all this stuff, and I found out a lot of stuff about him that I thought was, left a sour taste in my mouth anyways. And then I was like, no, I'm not trying to be cool with you. And then he's just been attacking me since then. He's just an upset little boy is what's going on. He wrote, "We constantly talk about what is not true in truth community, but we really are talking about lies." Amen. All reality is the same thing. Helix create more helix and pass down the torch of ignorance. If there is a God creating lower gods, it would be the same thing as an NPC having a kid. Oh my God. Oh, see, that's like Real 386, that's a great comment that when you contemplate it deeply enough, it punches you right in your fucking solar plex and leaves you drained of energy. It almost feels like an entity attack, like the comment you just said. It's like a fucking entity attack. It's like, but it could be true. This reality is truly harsh truths when you analyze it everywhere else. Stacey Adams wrote, great presentation. Love to hear others like us getting along and working together to figure this shit out. Wow, you guys are awesome. Oh, I'm going to have, we'll see how it goes, because you guys know how life can be, but I might be making a video where I'm just sitting down with what I would call like a normie, like a regular guy, you know, not super deep conspiracy theorist or nothing like that. I mean, I don't know if he watches my channel. We're good friends at work. But I'm just going to be talking to him and asking him some of my deep questions and getting his opinion on it. We'll just see what we would probably call a normie's reaction to dark philosophy. And when I say dark, I don't mean that in a negative way. That's just the way it is. Pizza Lover 1 wrote, 4850, my guess is most of them are demons walking around in human vessels, like actual demons just renting a biological body. I agree. And then that lends credence to the simulation theory that, what, are we a game being played by other creatures? But it's interesting that the NPC creature that would be being played by the other creatures has more power than the other creatures with the one tool that it uses to influence those creatures with. So how can I become more powerful than the guy playing the game? Well, I guess that is the way video games work. Sometimes there are hard characters to defeat, right? Don't you guys remember getting to Sagat, that big fucking dork? I hated that motherfucker on Street Fighter, dude. Tiger, 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 tiger. Like, dude, you couldn't even get close to this motherfucker. And then when you got halfway across the screen, he could punch you from halfway across the screen because the dude was 74 feet fucking tall, man. So maybe there are, like, hard characters. Maybe I'm a tough fucking... Maybe they're all struggling to defeat the Chris character. And he's just like, fuck you, demon. Fuck you, demon. Fuck you, demon. How's he so good at this? None of them can defeat him. If this is a video game, fuck all you negative mind entity fucking parasites. Video games got more consciousness, love, and soul than you fucking degenerates do. Danielle wrote, I'm so grateful for your work, Chris. I don't hear many people talking about these things. It really resonates and helps. Thank you, Danielle. That means a lot to me. Every time honestly, it's like those comments that keep me going, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to say too much new. Well, no, things are changing pretty quick. I think I'm going to have lots of things to say. But Vril wrote, great conversation, but Echo is making it hard. Yeah, I fucked that one up, Vril. I should have did a quick... When I did one of Fuse, I put the volume at like a perfect volume. It sounded like a normal... as close as I could get with this type of setup to a normal conversation. But with his, it was a little loud, and when he was talking, I fucked that one up. That's my fault, guys. PKOSB wrote, I know what you mean. To me, look, at the end of the day, I know there's shit that sucks, like high volume, scratchy volume, but I'm still going to put the content out, like even if it comes out kind of fucked up, because it's still content. And I'm more about the message than how, crisp and clear the message sounds. At the end of the day, I still want to hear it crisp and clear too, guys. Don't get me wrong, but PK wrote, I know what you mean when you say God. However, have you ever thought there may be several gods, countless amounts? Perhaps a lot of what's going on is that these gods are fighting over which one gets worshipped the most. PK, if that's true, then there's two gods in the reality. You're one of them, or I'll say we are one of them, and there's this other creepy fuckboy entity that's also a god. And the battles between us two. But it does a good job with deception because it's evil, and good is naive and stupid. It does a good job with deception to fool us into this demonic system. We don't even realize it, and we're participating in it on a daily basis. Sin, evil, consume, sex, drugs, rock and roll, Entertainment, mind garbage. Did you ask an important question? Shut the fuck up. Mind garbage. Just a mind garbage machine of fucking stupidity. I'm sorry. Going down into that, I'm already, I've got my, but I've got my protection, but I've already dipped down into a negative level making these videos, and this content also brings me down. Like, don't get, like, I'm not a completely emotionless, detached entity yet. This stuff still bothers me. And we got stuck in contemplating dark possibilities all the time. I'll just say possibilities. They just end up being dark because it's the only way my fucking mind can go, living in a Dookie Boy realm. And we got stuck in this mess somehow. I don't know, PK. But then she wrote, I don't know. And then she wrote, I can admit it. Thank you, Chris. I don't know, PK. There's a lot, like any other potential possibility in the reality. There's a lot to back up what you're saying. Yeah, it would be, if it was like a clusterfuck of different gods, that would explain all the different opinions and bizarre behaviors and beliefs. But no, I think it's just us versus it. I mean, I don't know. That's the way it feels as the observer creature on Earth thing that's happening now. It feels like it's me against my own internal demons. That's what life is. You fighting stupid voices. That's all it is. You want to go and do something, you're going to have a voice that says, yeah, that's a good idea. You're going to have a voice that says, no, that's a bad idea. And you're going to have all the possibilities. So it's us versus it, the voice, whatever the voice is. And no, it's not you. You're not abusive, but the voice will be abusive if you pay attention to it. You're not abusive. You're not a violent person, but your mind will have violent thoughts. You're not a whatever. The mind, the background noise of the mind, the thoughts that go on in our mind are not us. It's almost like a goddamn radio station, a cursed radio station. Thank you, PK. Much love and peace to you as well. Mo Sampson wrote, at 2545, do you think pondering or philosophizing, if you're the main character in the game, is the best thing to do? That's a good question. I agree. What if everything is an NPC? I agreed to get into this video game, had my mind wiped. I'm one of, like, let's say 100 or 200,000 actual souled creatures playing the game. The rest are NPCs. It's like a life of sitting around pondering what's going on here. Like, really the best path to walk? I don't know. Maybe doing that is the best path to walk in the game. You know what I'm saying? Is to go within and find out who you actually are. Maybe that is. I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, it's a great question. It's like, man, is this really what we should be doing here? Maybe we should be doing something practical. I don't know. Stacey Adams wrote, I think I can fly, but I can't get past the mental block. I believe we are truly limitless. Stacey, I do too. And it would show that there's a totally evil thing in the reality because it's always trying to get us down to nothing. You're just an amoeba on a ball of dirt on nothing. You're just nothing. You evolved from a monkey. It's like, huh. Why is it always doing that to me? What does it know that I don't know? Oh, maybe I actually am something powerful. Maybe if I believe something, it would become true. But because I don't actually believe I can fly, I can't. So it's my belief working back against me. It's like a double-edged sword, but it's always heavier on the back against you side because you were brought up in a Dookie Boy realm telling you you're a nothing amoeba ball of dirt fucking monkey boy. Stacey Adams wrote, it feels great to be odd in this place. I don't want to fit in here and I never will. Amen. This is actually a great comment. 4 days ago, that's about when I realized, like, it's my oddness that I love about me. Like, I used to not like the fact about myself that I was the way that I am. Because it's not a very social type of creature. It doesn't go along with norms, but it's like, man, what would I want to be, one of them, though? Ugh, man, I want an NPC or something. Stacey Adams wrote, wise cat or owl. Wise owl. Thank you, Stacey. She gave me hearts. Thank you. I love you guys, too. I love everybody. But Dave Ross, even my enemy, like, okay, for me, the hardest thing to do is to not be tough. I know that sounds stupid, but it's a big realization if you grew up as a street kid or whatever, you had to deal with tough shit all the time. My original approach in existence is to attack if something's attacking me. And it's hard for me to not be that way. I'm so brainwashed that way. But the actual me is this loving, caring individual. But I literally fight programming, stupid fucking programming. This whole reality is run by stupid fucking programming. Why is the human avatar thing so easily programmable? And so goddamn difficult to unprogram. It's like, then they installed the ego program where it like fights for its stupidity. It's like maddening. I'm sorry. I love you guys too. Dave Ross wrote, ask yourself why Big Pharma has not made a happy pill. I have my answer. They've made thousands of happy pills to the point that everybody walking around you is doped up on some sort of fucking happy pill. These pills, these drugs, also bring you down to a level where entity attachment can happen. If you can live in love, it doesn't matter. You could have an army of Hitler entities attached to you. And if you can live in love, they are powerless. Completely powerless. You literally feel the weight go off your shoulders. They weigh on you, these demons. Like, they're tormenting you constantly. Well, anyways, they feed off of us. There's literally, and you can call them demons, jinn, whatever. There's literally energy entities that feed off human beings. And if human beings live in love, or in a loving state, a peaceful state, a harmonic, forgiving state, that's hard for me, the forgiving part, because like I said, I'm programmed to be this tough guy retard. But I do forgive everybody that did me wrong. Every single one of them. Oh, whoa. When I did that, the burden was lifted off of me. I mean, it's so obvious. If you live in a loving state, demons don't matter anyways. But we're in a bizarre reality, and whatever I'm calling demons have done a really good job to create this reality where it's like literally you would have to be a monk to avoid its influence, you know. Archon's Illustrator wrote, it would take so many people to change this reality that it's impossible to achieve. I don't know if we can change the reality. I think the only thing we can change is our own internal state while we're in the Dookie Boy realm. And it's not a Dookie Boy realm because of us. It's by design that way. It's not our fault. That's bullshit. That's the lie sold back to us by the mind parasite that does not want to be discovered, that wants you in a low down state looking at porno and death and murder and kill, video games, just mind garbage. Archons Illustrated, these things bring us down. Like when you're killing creatures on a video game, it is trivial. I would argue it's trivial, but I would also argue that it puts you into a mind state of I'm killing and destroying. These things feed off negativity. So you sitting there playing killing games for hours feeds them. Archons Illustrator wrote, I have tried the astral traveling and have more to do. It's not an easy thing to keep going without losing it, and it's quite frightening usually. Yeah, mine was going super smooth. As long as I was chilling and just observing, almost like an observer. Again, not in control. But I guess you could say I had to sort of be in control because where my body went were places I recognize and I'm familiar with. So, but yeah, when I tried to move, then you can't move. You just have to watch the shit happen. But I don't know. I shouldn't even be commenting, to be honest. I'd done it like once, and it was quick and over with after about 2 minutes. He wrote, it's not easy and it's quite frightening. Mine wasn't frightening at all. The moment that I was like, I'm going to jump through this wall, and went to jump through the wall, the moment I hit the wall, it went black. And I was like, what the fuck? I literally had a moment where I went, what the fuck? And then I woke up. Out of it or whatever, and I was like, "What the fuck? Did I just astral project?" Because I was floating, I was floating at work, like between the way it was weird, like on the. Well, anyways, but Archons Illustrated wrote, so if you ever notice how an SD card or a USB drive gets corrupted, the only real way to fix it is to reformat it. The drive this place is on is corrupt. That's one way to look at it, sure. 53 minutes in. Until we find a way out, we are here forever. There may not be a way out. I know that's a scary thought, but we also have to keep that in mind. Billy wrote, even if this place was some utopian perfect paradise, who am I to decide for someone else? I would be deciding that on my own, completely ignoring and disregarding that other person's opinion. I do not think that is something we have the right to do. And then Illicit Mind wrote, appreciate you, Billy. Well, yeah, I guess that's the other extreme, is the utopian perfect paradise. I think most people would settle for just like logical thinking human beings in reality. But Pizza Lover wrote, someone would have to pay me to listen to this guest and still I would be hesitant. God, you guys are going to tear a list down. Jeez. He wrote, and it is funny how the guest on this video is telling you yourself to answer the question Chris is asking in the talk. Pizza Lover wrote, he appears to be very conscious because that's what a shill needs to be. Ike. And then Mo Sampson wrote, what makes him a shill? That's always my first question. Like when someone says this person, it's just like, okay, well, but what makes them a shill? That's a very important question. And if you don't get a response back, it makes you think the person commenting is the shill. You understand? He didn't get a comment back, but Infinite Corridors wrote, hey Chris, thanks for posting this conversation here. I recently discovered Illicit Minds channel and I've been going through his videos. What app or program do you use to record these conversations with others? Discord. He wrote, would you be willing to talk with me on a video? Sure, I'll talk to anybody. I do have Sunday off, but I have something set up for Sunday. Or I don't have Sunday off technically, then I guess you could say. But anyways, he wrote, you can check out the various topics I make videos about on my channel and see if you determine it would be worth the time to have a conversation with me. Are you a truth seeker, Infinite? I'm pretty sure you leave pretty cool comments all the time. I don't know if I've looked at your channel, but bro, when I say I'm willing to talk to anybody, I mean anybody. If a Christian wanted to come on here and talk to me about his point of views, I would do it. It probably wouldn't go well, but he wrote, it would be worth the time to have a conversation with me. He wrote, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia when I was 23 and now I'm 35. I would love to talk to a bunch of people, other truth channels. If you're another channel, a truth channel, I would say you should be obligated, especially if you're a bigger channel, to talk to somebody like me because you know I'm right on the motherfucking money, baby, if you're a truth seeker. He wrote, and now I'm 35. He wrote, I've been stable ever since, and I do take a single antipsychotic medication, but oh, I'm sorry, one sec. But I need to refill my water. But I've had personal experiences over the years with the voices and things Jerry Marzinski speaks about as well. Yeah, I actually knew about most of this. I was fascinated with psychology. Like, I already knew about how the voices were negative and all that schizophrenics here. I was wondering, like, why are they never positive? Why is it never random? A hallucination would be random. And I sort of seen patterns. Well, just the fact that they're all negative to begin with is a pattern. It's like, where's the good guy ones? But yeah, I know. I knew about a lot of this stuff already, but I never really put it into context. Jerry Marzinski helped me make sense of a lot of it. He wrote, I've had hundreds of out-of-body experiences over the years. So thank him. Thank any truther. Thank fucking Aaron Russo, the dude that made Mad as Hell or whatever. He talked a lot about, the evil, corrupt motherfuckers in power. The Rockefellers, he was personal friends with one of them, exposed them, that they wanted to chip everybody and blah, blah, blah. Someone say, oh, that's surface level. Man, it's like, man, shut the fuck up. Where did you start at? Didn't you start surface level? Or did you come out of your mother's womb fucking, what? Some mind master godly. Come on, bro. Anybody that's seeking truth, I don't care if you're Russell Brand. If you're seeking the truth, you're on my team. He wrote, I'm so sick of division. Like, they're over there and we're up here and we're down there. It's like, man, shut the fuck up with that dumb shit. He wrote, I don't have a computer though, but perhaps it's like, man, are you guys so full of hatred all the time? They're over there. What is it with this? That's a human program, I think, to create division. It's like, man, you people aren't loving human beings. He wrote, I don't have a computer though, but perhaps I could have a conversation with you through my cell phone while you're on your computer, yeah, that'll work. I would just put it on speaker, I guess, or whatever. And Hero, anyways, I appreciate your channel a lot. Thanks again. You're welcome, Infinite. Illicit Mind, bro, appreciate you, Chris. Thank you as well, Illicit, for coming on and talking. We should do another one. Hero, thank you for the insightful conversation and time spent. Until next time. You're welcome. Thank you for coming on. Hero, anybody complaining on the audio on my end, I apologize. That wasn't his fault. That was completely my fault. I had it just a little bit too loud. Hero, nothing I'm saying is special anyways. You should already have the answer for yourself if you say you know yourself. Reference speakers are Bobby Hermit, Brother Panic, Wise Solace, and SQS amongst others. If you do not know of the teaching centered around... he ended up linking me each one of these people, and I really liked Wise Solace. Wise, like wise, Solace, out of all of them. Hero, if you do not know of the teaching centered around what these gentlemen have presented onto the world... anyways, I don't want to... Hero, amongst other comments, others then search away for your answer. He's right. The answers are actually already within you. This is something we talked about in the video, is that when the truth is revealed to you, it's revealed to you. Not revealed, revealed to you. Like, you're just remembering what you already know. That's his biggest thing. It's like, don't ask me the question. And that's why people were saying, well, he was all over the place, because he was trying to say, don't ask me the question, ask you the question. You're the one that's got the answer. So I understand what he was saying. But, yeah, I was still asking, like, more direct questions or whatever. But Mo Sampson wrote, it's probably OBS audio looping on Chris's end. Is that what he uses? Oh, I don't know, dude. I just use my mic and my speakers. And Discord or whatever. Here, I've been practicing. I don't even know what the fuck OBS audio looping is. This place isn't reality. I've been practicing subconscious control for years. The theory is that if we control it, we become gods. I never believed in the universal law, always inner power. And when I started to tap into my power, my mind became ill. He wrote, and then is really toasty here, wrote back to him, people's need to control and enslave another is silly. How about talking it and removing its control freaks? That is a start. Oh, I'm sorry, talking to it and removing its control freaks. Is that a good start? I think that's a good start. There's a practical way to start something to fix this fucking reality. There must be, right? Like, it can't just be an unimaginable thought. Isn't that weird in the reality? That no brain can come up with a way to fix this situation. This place isn't reality, wrote, my OCD threatens me even now with images and thoughts. Brownstone Bear wrote, burn tough and stay burly, bro. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you, brother. Three Fingers wrote, well said. Thank you, Three Fingers. Mo Sampson wrote, at 48, the Sound of Freedom guy wants everyone to... Oh, dude, I know. Wants everyone to microchip their kids so they won't get stolen. That's all I need to know. Dude, that's it would be a very long chess move of the Archon thing, wouldn't it? But that is the way it works. So there's something I thought about too, and I was like, man, what do they say? It's like 600,000 or 800,000 kids go missing every year. It's like, God damn, that's a lot of fucking people. That's a lot of fucking people in 365 days to go missing. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. If there were that many kids going missing every year, man, every one of us would know somebody personally, maybe like 2 or 3 people personally whose kid got snatched. It's just so super common. Every year that money goes missing. It's not like it happened once. Every year, again, they take away that many kids in this fucking world. It's like, what the fuck? There's that many creep motherfuckers are walking around too, for real, bro. We should find them all and execute these demons. But anyways, yeah, it's like, oh, maybe it's been lying to us this whole time. Oh, your kid's gonna go miss. It's like the ultimate fear, isn't it? Your kid's gonna end up missing. Child trafficking, child snatchers. It's like going for the human's most deepest heartstring fears, isn't it? You see how it works after a while. But yeah, it would make sense that it would lie to us that this many kids, just to get us convinced, oh man, the reality's just dark and evil. My kids, first off, it puts fear, so the little energy demons got something to feed off of. Second off, you know, oh, my kid's gonna, it puts phobias in every fucking parent that their kid's gonna end up missing. Second off, the dude that's doing all this stopping the thing wants everybody to chip their fucking kids so they can feel more safe. It's like, man, it uses the good guys against us too. You understand? Well, you know, you guys understand what I'm saying. He's technically, he's not a good guy if you see through the bullshit. He's a bad guy, but from his perspective, he's on a righteous path out there saving kids, and that's the way it works, everybody. Mo Sampson wrote, one last comment. Do you have a Discord channel, or do you chat with your subscribers someplace? I'd love to continue this combo with like-minded people. I do, Mo Sampson, but I rarely go into that thing. It's just, I don't have time for most of the time. For making the videos, I can set a time, anytime, to make my videos. And if I did start like going into Discord, it would be so erratic. Like I'd come in at 3 in the morning, probably for like 30 minutes or an hour. I'd pop in at 3 in the afternoon for 30 minutes or an hour. Like it'd be random when I would be in there. But when I do have free time, I try to make videos or come up with content to make videos. It's kind of like, not my job, but it's what I do. I'll be right back, guys. One sec. All right, guys, I'm back. And you know what? Actually, reading that last comment a minute ago or whatever, I think I am going to go into my Discord more often in my free time. Again, like, just as an example, right now, well, it's of course, it's 3:33 in the morning, but it's 3:33 a.m. where I'm at right this second, Eastern time. So it's like now would probably be a time I would pop in. It would just be, my behavior with it would be sort of erratic, but why not? I mean, there may be somebody in there that's from fucking Australia or something. That's like, time is way off. For him, it's in the afternoon or something. So it'd work out for everybody in a weird way, I guess. But anyways, actually thinking about it, maybe I should do it. All the stupid little thoughts in my mind that are always like, no, there's no time for it. No, it'd be weird. You'd have to do it. Like, there's all these weird thoughts, and it's like, why is that there all the time? I don't want that there. Once you train yourself, it goes away. So what is that? It's like a living entity that feeds off negativity. I don't know. But anyways, Mo Sampson wrote, at 39, the Archon Yahweh Saturn Kronos does have a pathetic existence. He is a petty and egotistical creator god. That's why in Greek mythology, Zeus defeated Kronos and replaces him as the top god of this realm. Zeus is Jupiter, by the way. For some reason, we haven't reached the stage where Zeus/Jupiter defeats the Archon Yahweh Saturn Kronos yet, because we clearly still live under his rule. Maybe when Zeus defeats Kronos, it's symbolic for something we have to do. I haven't figured out that part yet. To slay the demon. To slay the demon. So to live in love. That's how Zeus, you have to be above the negativity that's being poked at you by the thing, right? Like, you can't, you're not going to beat it at its game. Like, he wrote, and Kronos/Saturn eats his children so they won't overpower him. What a nice guy. I'd say the answer to most all these questions actually is to just stand in your fucking power. Understand what you are too. A lot of us forget it. I know a lot of us forget it because the suicide rates are fucking through the goddamn roof. It's like, come on. It's like, people don't even want to live in this fucking place anymore. But that tells you how good a job this thing has done at, you're nothing, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're fat, you're ugly, you're... So it's like, no, I'm not, you lying mind parasite degenerate. If that was true, why would you have to tell me about it constantly? What are you afraid of? If you were already the one with the power, why are you still trying to get at me? Right? Anyways, Mo Sampson wrote at 33 minutes. So you are familiar with David Icke. I was back in the day. And then, like I said, like 10 years ago, probably a decade ago, I remember just seeing him as a total shill. We was like talking about like lizard people are in this and that, and I was just like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And keep in mind, this is a person that actually probably seen one of these lizard people in their life, still thinking that way. But again, up until like somebody else put it into context, I just thought that dude was extremely ugly. Just the most ugliest dude that ever, or he could get that way. But I just thought this dude was like a masterful mean mugger, bro. Like, I've never seen something like that. But anyways, my answer wrote, I'm going to riff something here and don't take me as a religious nut job. And yes, I'm going to talk about the demiurge. Before I continue, Mus Hampson, we are all nut jobs. So whether you're religious or whatever, it doesn't matter. We're all in a crazy fucking reality with crazy minds to the point that it's difficult to maintain focus for the majority of the human things. But anyways, he wrote, I'm going to riff some. He wrote, Yahweh means wind, water, fire, earth. So the elements. He wrote, the demiurge is one who creates the laws that regulate wind, water, fire, earth, and in other words, it created the physical laws that make is so life has to feed on life in a grotesque display. Yeah, so the God of the reality created a gross reality. Amen, I agree with that. He's sort of creepy. He's not a loving, happy God up there sitting next to a fucking rainbow. I don't know what he's doing. He's up there probably rubbing oil on his fucking nipple piercings and petting his chihuahua and with his fucking forked tongue, wearing assless chaps. Dude, I don't know what the motherfucking creepy boy's doing, but he's doing some weird shit. Because I look at the reality he created and I'm like, this dude's a fucking creepy boy. It's really that simple. It doesn't even have to get philosophical. It's just like literally like I look at the human existence, period. Just in a nutshell. The human existence, the existence of creatures, animals, whatever. And I'm like, oh, this place is really fucked up. It doesn't even have to get super deep. It's just like, oh, yeah, I watch an eagle eat a mouse or a rat, whatever. I see that happen and I'm like, whoa, my God, that was interesting. He literally ripped that thing's fucking whole head off in one bite. And I watched its body twitch and blood squirt out and fucking, whoa. This place is dark and evil. It doesn't take a genius. It just takes like eyes and a brain that doesn't go, no. That's not a comfort zone place. So, what can we create to fucking band-aid that thought that we're in an evil reality that was created by a dark god. Let's see. No, he's actually loving. Okay. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but it happens all the time. He wrote, even if we don't want... I might take another break at this comment, guys. I'm sorry. Even if we don't want to, we are forced to eat due to the physical laws determined by Yahweh. Amen. He wrote, the more I look into it, the more it seems like the Gnostics were onto something. I've heard you say before, yeah, it all kind of makes sense when it makes sense, doesn't it? It's like, oh man, everything that I've heard, like it's starting to fall into place now. I'm telling you, we're like learning from the future or something. But anyways, he wrote, I've heard you say before, maybe you don't agree with them, but personally it keeps going back. No, dude, I agree with them. I never said that. Did I say I don't agree with the Gnostics? No, I said I said recently, the more I read their texts, the more I was like, dude, they may not agree with 100% everything I'm saying, but they're way more accurate than like God's a fucking loving, happy dude. Anyways, there's a lot more I could say about the astrology side and which planet Yahweh is. Hint, they worship the black cube, Saturn. Isn't that Saturn? Because the fucking like cube on its top or whatever. Or is that Saturn? I can't remember. That's funny. There was a GameCube, but there was also a Sega Saturn. Both gaming systems. It's telling us. Maybe the demiurge is telling us that this is a video game reality, or the god, or whatever. It's telling us, man, like through the language, through the reality, but maybe that's it trying to belittle us, to get us into that low, oh no, we're just being played by them. Then you would live in their vibrational state permanently. This is a war. Well, anyways, and I've been dealing with it these last few weeks, few months, few years. Oh no, I've been dealing with it my whole life. That's right. They worship the black cube, he wrote, but it's going into syncretism between ancient mythologies and something Yahweh is Jupiter, but the demiurge was actually Saturn, and that's the entity or archetype that Abrahamic religions worship. I think in a symbol way they are onto something, or it explains. There's actually another planet that's got a fucking octagon on it, I'm pretty sure. It's just like so inorganic looking. Can you imagine like a whole storm on Earth that's the shape of a fucking triangle or an octagon? Just like so inorganic. Anyways, he wrote, I think in a symbolic way they are onto something, or it explains something that happened in the past to our realm. You mentioned Lush, which David Icke talks about, and he also has a book out about Saturn Moon Matrix. Have you heard of it? Nope. And I wouldn't read it, Mo. He wrote, by the way, the Archons is sometimes another name for the demiurge. Okay, the demiurge. I don't like that, man, because my brother Dimitri is Dimitri, but I've always called him Demi since he was a child. I mean, I sort of stopped, but I don't like that. The most evilest thing in reality is called the demiurge. Man, fuck the demiurge and its mama. But I'll be right back, guys. Give me one sec. Hey, guys, a new idea just came to me. I'm going to start doing 2 comment reply videos. I'm going to do ones that are quick comments, and then I'm going to do ones that are very long, deep comments. Because I always... It'll just make my life easier, honestly. I'll be able to cover more comments faster. That way, I'm going to continue this one with the short comments, and then I'm going to come back to longer comments in another video following this one. So T-Fetch wrote, I'm abrasive because brutal honesty and direct to points. Yeah, isn't that funny? That's funny, T. Exactly. There's literally a negative word created for people that are brutally honest and direct to points. Probably the most innocent thing to be. Brutally honest and direct to points. The most innocent thing to be has a fucking negative connotation attached to it called, oh, you're being abrasive. I thought I was being normal. Anyways, Mo Sampson wrote, at 17 minutes, I avoided alcohol for most of my life and only smoked weed, so 1 or 2 beers would hit me pretty hard. I'm a super lightweight dude. He wrote, it seemed like such a dull drug compared to weed. Seems counterintuitive to meditate on it. Yeah, it did. He wrote, but after a while I see now why they call it spirits. You can definitely get high from alcohol. Excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. He's absolutely right, and you can get entity attachment from alcohol. Don't forget that part. The Age of Warriors wrote recently, entity attachments are like, it's like depressing yourself. These things will fucking make you miserable in your mind. Like, they will tell you, they'll only focus on negativity. That's where your mind machine will always wander. There shouldn't be a mind machine. You should have no machine in your mind. You should be sitting still of thought. How do you do that? Live in love, forgive. Live in love and forgive. For me, again, I grew up retardedly programmed to attack and be a tough guy. That makes it so difficult for me to forgive. Oh, I see what it did to trap me here. I must forgive. That's me personal. Not everybody's like that. Your story's completely different. And your demons, how you kill your demons, I don't know. But that's what this reality is about. It's about beating these fucking mind demons. I forgot to get my freaking tea. The Age of Warriors, where recently was listening to the channel Timothy Ward, and he mentioned he's a Scorpio like yourself. Dude, I know that channel. I know who Timothy Ward is. He's a bald-headed guy just like me, isn't he? He's bald-headed. He's a little bit darker than I am. I've watched this. I've actually left comments on his channel that were very pessimistic, and I felt bad. And then later said, you know what? I remember I left a comment later saying something like, you know what, Tim? I'm sorry. I might have left a bad comment back in the day. Like, keep being you, dude. Like, I'm really sorry I said that, because I said something like very my way. I was like, dude, because he's okay. So those who don't know Timothy Ward, he like travels, walks around, makes videos in his car. He's like a positive speaker type of dude. Very good he's got good. I think he's got good charisma, personality, whatever. But I do feel like he's lying his ass off most of the time. And I kind of called him out in a comment once, like, dude, you're like, be logical. This place is a fucking hellhole. Like, why are you still lying back to yourself? I left a comment like that. Now it was just like so opposite of what his channel is. Like, these people are buying into the ignorance. They want to be told everything's great, stay positive. Blah, blah. I'm like so past that in my mind, but and I had said that, and I realized how hurtful that could be, and I ended up apologizing later. But I do know the channel you're talking about, but. He ended up making a video. He'll even say himself, like he even made a video called I do choose to be, or where he's like, I'm glad to be ignorant. I'm choosing to not look at the bad or whatever, because I would rather be in a better mood or whatever he preached. But he himself said I would willingly choose ignorance. To stay happy, because really at the end of the day, my life's all I got, and blah. So I understand his argument too, you know what I'm saying? But I know who that is. He's a Scorpio. Oh, maybe that's why I find him charismatic. Maybe because we're both Scorpios. But I don't know too many Scorpios personally. My brother Dimitri, we're born on the same fucking day. We were born on the same fucking November 17th, both of us, 6 years apart. So it's like... I don't meet too many other Scorpios. I always hear about how evil and bad they are. I was like, man, I would love to meet one of these evil motherfuckers. But Sue Phi Maguire wrote, I listened to this twice. Love. Thank you, Sue. She wrote, what if the whatever is controlling the realm can only survive, feed at a low vibration. We eat animals to survive. Amen. Keeping us at a low vibration. Let me just read her comment. Maybe keeping us at a low vibration is the only way it survives. Great podcast. Thank you, Sue. That was an amazing comment. I agree. It is true. Eating dead animals is literally one of the grossest things that you could do as a spiritual creature. But yes, it definitely brings us down. Sex brings you down. Porn brings you down. Video games bring you down. I could say there's a lot of movies that definitely bring you down. Like movies like Saw or whatever, like weird torment, evil movies, and even just movies where there's a lot of violence and killing can potentially bring you down. Even though, from your perspective, you're watching it, you're voting for the good guy. He's defeating evil. It's still the killing and violence that's putting you in a negative state, because that's what you're observing. The majority of the 2-hour movies, the killing and violence and explosions, and at the very end, for about 2 seconds, there's a clip where the good guy wins and walks away with the girl and his hair blowing in the fucking wind, It's like, whoa, we only got like about 3 seconds of happiness and 2 hours of death, killing, and explosions. Well, anyways, Project Birdfeeder Man wrote, it seems like there's two sorts of mind control going on. If the mind virus thing is real, I mean, the elites love building their own mind control techniques and technologies. Amen. It's reaching into the reality through them. Drugging and electric shocking, etc. And then look at all of reality and it'll all make sense to you. You're like, oh, that's why when you look at Big Pharma and the medical shit, you find out it's all fucked up, right? Even down to the psych wards is the worst shit, but like it's all grotesque and this and that, and they just really dope people up. They love fucking ripping people's body parts out. Like it's almost like this weird white lab coat cult. Anyways, he wrote, unless all of that is a psyop to mislead, one reason I'm wary of Jerry Marzinski is he never talks about psychotronic weapons or DARPA, etc. As far as I know, though I've only watched a few of his videos. Is it still hitting me while I'm positive and in peace? With technology, maybe. I mean, I would say that maybe it really does have all the power. I mean, I don't know. I don't like to think that or believe that. It's done a good job of portraying that illusion to me, I'll say that. maybe it's done a good job of portraying that illusion to me. He wrote, it seems like there's two sorts. I don't even remember what I was talking about, guys, so I may have lost my train of thought there. He wrote, it seems like there's two sorts of mind control going on. If the mind virus thing is real, I may have just been talking as the mind virus, guys, so keep that in mind. Like, remember what I just said? Like, I don't remember what I was just talking about. What I just said may have been a nugget. It may have been the mind virus. I'm sorry, he wrote, if the mind virus is real, he wrote, I mean, the elites love building their own mind control technologies. Okay, I read this. He wrote, unless all of that psyop is to mislead, maybe all that psyop is to guise what we would normally have perceived as spiritual attacks. Like, no, it's technology. They're doing it with the towers and blah, blah, blah. The towers may literally just be there to cook everybody once the apocalypse comes or something. They may be there to control the weather. They may be there. I can just almost guarantee that it's not good news. That's the way it works every time. It's that ugly and gross, this thing that we call creation, God, whatever. It's very evil and creepy. He wrote, one reason, dude, but we came out. If you have love in your heart, you're a genuine, good-hearted soul. Didn't you still come out of it? Whatever it is? So that means that we exist too. Sometimes it's always just like us versus it, isn't it? Even the illusion of that is sold to us. It's us, whoop, one little dot boy, versus it, this big demon monster. And it's like, even that's a lie though. It's actually us versus it. There's a lot of good people in this fucking reality too. I think if it was all just evil and demonic, we'd be in a totally different fucking reality. I think if the thing had its way completely, I would say, we would already be in fucking cages somewhere with tubes up to us, sucking us our fucking loosh out or something. I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong about that. But if this all is one, the good guys are in here too, is what I'm saying. If all is one, the good guys are in here too. Fuck this motherfucking bitch-ass thing. You know what I'm saying? It is beneath you. If you just live in love for fucking 10 seconds, don't allow one of the mind virus thoughts to engage in your mind for fucking just a couple minutes. Live in peace and love. Forgive. Live in peace and love for fucking just 5 minutes. If you can get 5 minutes one day, do it. Clear of mind. Live in peace and love. If you can get up to 10 minutes, get up to 10 minutes. Maybe you'll get to a point where you could do it for a whole fucking day. Maybe a whole fucking lifetime. What would you be to them? What would you be to them? They wouldn't even come around you. There's nothing to feed off of. It's the negative entities putting negativity in your life in a lot of cases. Not all the time, but in a lot of cases. So if they can't even be around you, your whole life's going to change. So I'd say don't feed these fucking, just in a basic sense. There's evil fucking things trying to feed off of us. You want to call it loose, whatever. Don't feed them. Fuck them and their motherfucking mama. So live in love and peace. Because they feed off negativity. And it's obvious. Right? The answer is to find love and peace. I thought it was to let go. That's like saying, here you win. It's like, no. I want to fight back. Live in love and peace is the best way to fight back. Fuck this thing. I hate it with my whole heart. So my whole heart has to have love. Motherfuck this thing that created all this bullshit that we call reality. This hellhole of people, human entities suffering right in front of everybody's fucking eyes. Anyways, he wrote, one sec. No, I'm good. Okay, he wrote, seems like, I'm sorry, there's two sorts of mind control going on. If the mind virus thing is real, I mean the elites love, okay, I already read that. I doubt they can do much to torture people without all the tech infrastructure. But sadly, society is building perfect Hawaii epic Jaws waves to break the population's mind with. Surf up every day nowadays for these entities riding the carrier waves. Hopefully there's some electronic reef for them to get impaled on when they come off their boards. Maybe this is why spiritual attacks have gotten way worse. Maybe we're like literally vibrating at a different frequency now, where the entities that normally just whisper in our ears, all of a sudden they have a little bit more power or something. But again, if you live in love, they don't exist in your not in your at least not in your direct reality. But they can't. They can't. It's a pathetic entity. Do you think a pathetic entity could hang out around love, like energetically? It's impossible. What was I saying? I'm sorry. We may be literally going through the battle that we've all thought about now. But life's always sort of been that way anyways. It's almost like an endless battle between good and evil. And it's like neither side ever actually wins. It's like one side's over here being evil and one side's over here being good. And it just keeps going that way. It's weird. The never-ending story of stupidity. Wireless plumb and drama and emotions. It's like a drama show, this reality. It's like, why y'all pretending? This shit's fucking like... Anyways... Wireless Plum wrote, that coffee mug gave me the best laugh I've had in a while. Never change, Chris. Thank you, Wireless Plum. He's probably talking about my shut the fuck up coffee mug, I think. Yeah, it's got to be that one. I don't have another funny one, do I? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's that one. But Wireless Plum wrote, I've seen nights where there is nothing on the road but trucks and cops. I do DoorDash super late until 4 or 5 a.m. sometimes, and it usually dies down a lot around 2 to 4 where I live. You're talking about like, okay, I see. I've had like 2 mile gaps of no other cars in sight on the highway, and it's like, man, I know this is rare sight. It feels super peaceful and calming when there's no other cars near me compared to being in traffic. I start avoiding the highway during the day. Dude, Wireless Plum, I don't even like driving anymore, man. Actually, what's weird is since I've sort of started walking the internal path, a lot of this shit that I thought was me was never me. It's just like you become a whole totally different person walking the inward path, but you would never take a step back. It's weird, like the person what am I trying to say? Okay, the person that I became or am still becoming, walking the inward path, as opposed to the truth is out there type shit, is who I've discovered I was. First off, I had no idea I was this way. And as it was revealed to me, the real me, it wasn't what how can I explain this? It wasn't how not that I was upset with it, but it wasn't how I imagined it was going to be, I would say. And even though that's jarring to me originally, I had to go through this fucking process of sort of deconstructing. The way it felt like I was killing something I was living with. Like tearing something apart that wasn't a part of me. This, I call it mind control, whatever you want to call it. Programming. Man, when you find who you really are, though, and I'm not perfect, believe me, I think I'm still walking the path, but I'm getting there. Anyways, Shengel Thunder wrote, I agree with one of you when he says the comment reply videos are a great idea. Thank you, Shengel. I think it is too. I don't know why more people don't do that. We're all trying to figure something out, right? Like, and we're doing it in the face of the biggest deception. It's like all we have to each other really at the end of the day. So we all should be communicating. Comment replies is the most direct way. Somebody knows, oh, Chris does comment replies. I can go and say this and fucking see what he's got to talk about it. Or whoever. Not fuck what I'm saying. Everybody. We're all a part of this. Anyways, he wrote, I think it actually has the potential to bring folks out of their shell and into the conversation. Amen. You don't have to feel like a recluse. You don't have to get face to face with me. It doesn't got to be super personal. But if there are thoughts in your mind that you ponder, that you don't feel comfortable asking people around you, come ask me. I'm open-minded. I'm not going to judge you, whatever. I mean, I may not agree with you, but here they have a place. They don't have to be judged. They could just leave a comment, and see what happens about it. But it allows for the channel to feel more like an actual community. Amen. I love community. It's just unfortunate that reality makes a bad one most of the time. I've seen some good ones. There's actually a retirement community in Florida that looks like it would be amazing to live in, but Anyways, Shanghai Thunder. Oh no, I already read this. Oh no, did I read this? Okay, yeah, I did. Information, yes, sir. Shying away from fear. Or did I read this? I'm sorry. No, maybe I didn't. Hero community, and it may cause folks to start putting their own information and experiences out there instead of shying away in fear of what others might think about them. It makes no sense that every channel doesn't do it. I agree. Amen, dude. Did I already read that? I don't know if I already read that, but I forgot about it. But I agree 10,000%. And then he also commented, excellent discussion. Thank you, Shingel Thunder. Skepticos wrote, there's something murky about Matt barely interacting with commenters. I know as a 6-year plus follower that he has fallen off with prominent or consistent commenters, including me, in my opinion. I have talked with 1 or 2 of them and they told me the same thing. I appreciate Matt, but I believe he is a positive impact narcissist. This explains how sensitive he is to criticism and how cultish many commenters get. It's like he grooms them. And then Pizza Lover wrote, Matt is a shill. His wife is a Pfizer exec. And then one of you wrote, yeah, someone once told me a very high-functioning NPC. Again, not sure what is, but something is busy. Like what, really bad or evil? I don't watch his channel, but he seemed like a pretty nice guy when I was watching his channel. Again, when he had said that shit that I'd seen, whatever, I was like, what the fuck? But, no, I actually just got to the point where I wasn't learning anything from watching his channel anymore. I was just like, it's not so much of what he did. That was, I guess you could say that was a straw that broke the camel's back. At that point, I was like, well, I'm not really watching too much of his content anyways. And then he had said, he literally said, I remember it's not like a clip someone showed me out of context. I was watching one of his videos and he said it. It was clear as day to me what he was saying. And I was like, yo, why is he saying that? Like, didn't he see all the evidence backing up like what he's saying is wrong? And that what he's telling people like could potentially get them murked out. Like, what are you fucking... Well, anyways, I was like, yo. Then I was just like, well, I'm not learning anything anyway, so I just unsubscribed. Like, it is what it is. But not that I wish anything wrong on the guy. I still see him as a truther. I watched his channel for 2 years, didn't I? You know what I'm saying? So haven't I also been influenced by him? He's the same way I would thank Aaron Russo down at Ring 1 getting me out of the Matrix. I would thank Matt. Okay, he doesn't do comment reply videos. Maybe he never even thought to do it. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. It's the most basic thing you would think to do. But anyways, I mean, I don't know. But, I mean, is he all of a sudden like an evil shill? Like, man, I don't believe that neither. I think he's another person looking for truth in a mind virus God creation thing that none of us are actually defeating anyways. We're all trying to, but you know what I'm saying? It's like we're all struggling to defeat this thing. Pizza Lover wrote, at 2 hours, they don't see it because they are the NPC. And then he wrote at 2 hours and 13 minutes, that's conditioning. And then at 56 minutes, I don't know what I said at any of these things he wrote. I've thought about all this as well. How many animals are being slaughtered for the meat in the stores? How is it possible? And vegetables. It's like, unless that's where all the kids are going, then that's a horrible thought. Then we're all a giant fucking cannibal cult. He wrote, it's like an overabundance of stuff in grocery stores, so that would mean we kill off several thousand cows per week just in one country. How do they breed new ones so fast? Makes no sense at all. Dude, I remember seeing this video of this like Jewish weirdo dude that was like, and then we grind up your children and we feed them back to you in the matzo balls and you fucking... What did he call us? He kept calling us, I can't remember, like a simp or some shit. It was just like a weird thing he kept calling non-Jews. It sounded derogatory, but he's saying, yeah, we feed your kids back to you. I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? Pizza Lover wrote, of course, the NPCs will tell you NPCs are not real. It's in their best interest to keep you out of this knowledge. Oh yeah, of course. This is exactly right. Did I say okay, of course the NPC. Yeah, that's a great comment. Amen. Pizza Lover wrote, organic portals are real, Chris. You don't have to ponder that question anymore. I highly suggest seeing the vid on YouTube where Laura Knight, Chazik Q&A's organic portals. It's an interview where she touches. Did you link it? Oh, this is a huge comment. I was supposed to skip over big comments. I'm not going to skip over this one. I just want to see what he's saying. This sounds important to me. Organic poison. It's an interview where she touches on the subject on a surface level. Yes, it's the most important topic of our lifetime. The NPC Helic Terror Organic Portal PSV phenomenon. Helic. Oh no, not Helic. Hylic. It is Hylic. I keep saying Helic for some reason. What the hell's a Helic? That sounds more positive though. It sounds like heels in it instead of high. Well, no, high sounds better, right? Hylic. But lick, that don't sound good. What are we licking though? Anyways, Hylics, NPCs. NPCs the best one because that's what I just think anybody nowadays. It's like it's cool to go back and study their philosophy, but it's like let's do ours today because people are living in today's world. So I would use the word NPC. I think most people nowadays, especially, can understand what a non-player character is. Well, not most people. I would say most people over like 45, 50 or something maybe. Video games been around for a minute now. Most people play video games. Hylic, Terror. These are in Gnostic is what they would call Hylics, an NPC, a non-sold character, or not an NPC, or like a organic portal even. So I guess, yeah, they would be. They're definitely organic portals, right? Because they're used by the thing. So they have to be that. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Organic portal's a great word for it. PSV. But I'll just keep, I don't know. I've always said NPC, so I'll just, whatever. I'm not too stuck on which terms we should use. I think we should get the message out. Phenomena, he wrote, the reason why more isn't talking about this is because we are probably in the very minority, just like the container and the contents in is yes. That didn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. Just like container and the contents is yes. It's the most important topic of our lifetime. The NPC... Oh, I'm sorry. I read that. The reason why more isn't talking about this is because we are probably the very minority, just like container and contents is. Saying this is what two don't seem to understand, unfortunately, but I think it will reach you in time. We are being played. Every minute of our daily lives, we are all Truman in the Truman Show. It is a very... Okay, this is a very... Guys, you may be completely right about this. Like, I know it's a hard reality to live in, but it's kind of observable, to be honest. But what would you say, Pizza Lover, if I told you that the entities that control most human beings go away if you live in a loving, peaceful state? What would that mean to you? So can only Truman Show people that are in a dark, evil reality or mind state or energy or frequency, can they only control those types of people? Are they powerless to affect people living in love and peace and harmony? Because it feels like whatever I would call the mind virus, the Truman Show controller guy, that's probably really just a little pathetic old man behind the curtain, a little weak technology or something. It's pathetic probably in actual reality. This thing, it behaves like a pathetic creature would behave. I agree with that comment where he said that it's a pathetic existence creature. It's just like, when you actually look at evil, it's like its base line thought is like, I'm gonna hurt you in some way or get you badly, and it's just like, what? So you're just driven by negativity? Like, you're the most pathetic little thing in the world. I don't know how to explain it. I hope I explained it good. That's the best way to explain it, how I said it. He wrote, while I understand the hesitancy of calling those around us NPCs, he wrote, I believe it is absolutely crucial for us to do so, but still remaining open-minded and critical of any other option, of course. I resonate a lot with one of you mentioning the spectrum, as I believe there is a lot of weight to this statement. We are probably not dealing with just one type of AI or entity, but several in a mixed bag, making our task of identifying anyone even harder. Also, about the AI, to answer one of you, AI is the closest analogy we can use. It's probably way more advanced than any one of us can even fathom. This was a very good comment. There was a great back and forth between Pizza Lover and One of You. This will probably be in my... I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be hearting and thumbs upping these because then they will go into the void. Hold on. I can always go to the video and do it from there. But yeah, I'll reply to this comment later in a different video. Or this back and forth. In a different video. It's a good size back and forth. Alright. This place isn't reality. Or just go check that one out actually. It's on my... That is on my One of You videos and me. It's a great back and forth between them if you're interested in that last comment I just covered. They go into it more deeply. This place isn't reality. Wrote, YouTube or my phone keeps messing up my grammar, or is it my mental health? And I don't know, dude. I think it's living in this fucking torment, mental torture chamber realm. It's weird. I'm saying that now. It doesn't feel genuine to me right now. I'm lately I've been practicing living in love. I'd say for the past 8 or 9 hours, and it seems to be paying off pretty well for my mood, if I'm being honest. This place isn't reality. Wrote, my comment got deleted. It wasn't me. This place, dude. Sometimes I'll see a great comment on the fucking bell thing. I'm like clapping my lips. My mouth is so dry right now. I'll see a great comment. And then when I click it to go and read the comment, it's gone. And I'm like, why do they keep deleting these fucking interesting looking comments? It's not me. I would say before you comment on my channel, highlight your comment, press Control-C, copy, or just right click, go to copy, and then press enter. And send it more than once, because I've noticed sometimes that actually works for me. Like, I'll comment, and it'll delete my I'll refresh the page and my comment will be gone. If I leave my comment again, and I'll wait 5-10 minutes, refresh the page, it's still there. So it's like, that's weird. Well, does it have like a limited amount of function or something? But anyways, leave comments or copy your comments before you press enter, and try again a second time. I'm back, my loves. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. This place isn't reality. People's comments get deleted all the time. So do mine. It's YouTube's a fuckboy, bitch-ass extension of the mind entity as well. Pizza Lover wrote, it's the YouTube algorithm. It's very aggressive nowadays and deletes comments instantly if it's too much truth. You need to be clever when choosing your words. Amen. Great comment. Reply back to him. Liberation from the Matrix wrote, I still truly think the sanity machine is possessed by an entity and pushing. I also agree, like probably by multiple entities. Him pushing him to shit on others, but I don't think he will ever shake it off. If he's no agent to begin with, in any case, he went way too far with Lion's Sword. Wasn't the guy defending the sanity machine the perpetual pleasurist dude? In any case, thanks for the video, both of you. I don't know if that guy was, I don't know. I didn't get into all the drama part of it. Like I wasn't watching it and all that. So I don't know what's going on with these people, but I'm pretty sure they were friends at one point, and then he said something that Steven didn't like, and then that dude, and then he attacked that dude too. So it's like, it just shows you that he's an erratic, aggressive weirdo. That's all it shows me. I was like, oh, see, I told you guys, look, he's an asshole. Pizza Lover wrote, 100% he's possessed in some form. Yes, it's quite obvious if you really try to look for it. You don't have to try to look for it. It's super obvious. You just have to look at him behaving. You're like, oh, okay, I see it. I believe it's going to be much harder for Chris to see it. Even if he's himself aware of the mind virus before all of the damage sanity machine has done. What damage? What do you mean? It's going to be hard for Chris to see it, even if he himself... I definitely see that he's an agent. I've said he's an agent, like, forever. Well, again, like, since 2 days after the whole debacle started, I just seen every trait of his behavior. I was like, oh. It's like, okay, I see what's happening. Like, it's super obvious. But I don't know why you wouldn't think... I've been calling that out forever. Oh, okay, probably because a lot of my videos don't fucking exist anymore. And Pizza... I knew this dude was an agent since day one. I didn't realize how deeply of an agent he is when you think about it on a deeper level. Because, well, honestly, I just didn't get that far into it. I seen him as a creep, and I was like, go away, dude, you know. But he believed he wrote, even if he's himself aware of the mind virus because of all of the damage Sanity Machine has done. He hasn't done damage. He's actually brought me more subscribers. Most of the people come to my channel, they'll leave comments saying stuff like, I came from his channel, I was watching him, and then it made me come to yours, and then I realized he was an asshole. So it's like, that's why I said, just have faith in the smart ones. Like, I don't care that there's dumb people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why am I even going to address it, to be honest? Just for me, like the lizard mask and all that shit was fun to do. It was fun. I just wanted to have some fun, dude. Like, I'm still a human being. There's like still a goofy fucking, you know, lively 13-year-old kid inside me that's excited to be goofy and joke around and have fun and blah blah. But that shit was just fun picking at him, calling him a dumb little whatever he is, little child sniffer boy. Honestly, that's what I do in my spare time, guys. I go to fucking websites, self-identify as a fucking child sniffer, and then comment on creepy lewd images and videos like, yeah, that's so hot. Like, oh, I was just trying to be funny. Like, that's not funny. That's what creeps literally do. That's what makes them creeps. But anyways, he wrote, Illicit Mind wrote, great conversation. I agree. People making like all the negative comments. Like, guys, I guess I could say not everybody's for everybody. He did make some good points. You guys are talking like he didn't say anything intelligent. I thought he made some good points. Ronan's Journey wrote, these are the combos that need to happen, but there are too few of us. I will always wonder, what is the purpose of us being here? Hero, I can see the use of the NPCs as they continue the Matrix without question. Whatever we are, we see reality very differently, yet we can't even change anything about it, let alone changing others' minds or completely removing our participation. As of late, it really doesn't seem like I'm the only one here to suffer. If every area that is to be human, or he wrote, in every area that is to be human. At other times, it feels like I'm being punished for something. Like you, I still have no connection to this place, and my copes are becoming fewer and weaker. I enjoy your videos, and I hope that your health continues to improve. Yeah, I'm getting better every freaking day. I did sort of fib to my coworkers when they told me that my guts were fucking ripped open and all that shit and locked up and swollen. I was like, okay. And then, you know, the doctor was like, you know, it's something that could... When I actually went to the GI doctor, it was about 5.5 months after the original shit. I told my coworkers and all that I would come back stronger. I'm not stronger yet, but I'm close. I've been back now for a month or whatever it's been, but I'm close. And what that GI dude said was that could have killed most people. He said the fact that you just tried to deal with this issue, like, I tried to man through it pretty much. I worked through this issue for like a week. At the very end, when it got bad, and I was working through it for, actually it was closer to 2 weeks. And I was just trying to power through it because I kept thinking I was going to heal and not realizing how severe it was. But he told me that most people would have died from that. He said, and at worst, it could have knocked you out of commission for 2 years. And he said, if you were older, even longer, he said the fact that you're super healthy, really, you know, super healthy, like, because I look fit, I'm super healthy, but, you know, he said, you coming up and talking to me already feeling better after 5.5 months, he's like, that's crazy. So, you know, I'm way better now, dude. I'm actually like I'm working and I'm going back to the gym and shit. Like, I'm starting to feel more and more normal every day, whatever that means. I'm plugged back into the shitty matrix. But I am plugged back in a fucking god body, baby. That can't nothing. Dude, this reality's nothing to me, bro. Nothing to me. Nothing to any of us, really. It's not. Think about it as a whole, and you'll actually see, Ronan, you'll actually see an entity that's that big to you. Because when you see evil for what it is, it's pathetic. We are way past this realm. But I'm not trying to say like, man, people get real dark with that. It's like, I would say stick around because you still don't really know who you are completely, potentially. Maybe you do. Maybe you're a mind master. Maybe you've been going with them for 1,000 years. But I thought I knew who I was, and now I'm making new revelations every day. It's interesting. In my mind, I connect the search for truth to discovering who I am. Isn't that weird? Pizza Lover wrote, I feel exactly the same. I've been a recluse now for over 10 years, I think. No attachment to this place at all, which is how I would like to stay until I'm gone. It certainly feels like I'm walking the plank now in this stage of my life. Oh, dude, we've been walking the plank our whole lives. That's what life is. You begin and then you get told, yep, you're right. You're going to that. Well, what's that? It's death. What the fuck's that? Well, it's when you shut off and stop existing and you're like, what the fuck? What's that? Well, what happens there to me? Well, nobody knows. But there's this book. There's this book. There's this hat. There's these braids. Choose one, son. Choose wisely. Because if you don't, you're going to go into hell, boy. Oh, and it becomes this like terror situation. This reality is interesting, actually, when you really look. Anyways, Liberation from the Matrix wrote, yes, I'm also quite sure there's tons of like... In this life, you may do things where when you die, you're just gonna fucking burn forever. Just like, if you not, and not even, you don't even gotta be a bad motherfucking person. You don't gotta be one of these little weird child trafficking, child sniffer, creepy boys. All you gotta do is just choose the wrong God. And you're actually gonna burn forever. There's a terrifying fucking thought, isn't it? It's like, whoa, this God's pretty fucking evil, right? Like, if that's true, he's a fucking demonic evil. You would think if it was that important to him that he was going to make us suffer forever, that he would be more attentive to his fucking creation and actually help them instead of letting them sit in a fucking dookie boy realm with a goddamn demon that feeds off of their fucking negative emotions. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. He wrote, I'm sorry, Liberation from the Matrix wrote, yes, I just said I'm sorry. I'm still not sorry. Yes, I'm also quite sure there are tons of NPCs out there. They watch you in strange way, many times in negative way, and they have basically no empathy. But yes, I also think some of them have a soul, but they are sleeping, so the mind broadcast always has control over them. Yeah, maybe it's something like that. That would make more sense than most ideas or theories about this realm. Pizza Lover wrote, yes, the spectrum, which one of you also mentions, there's probably... I'm actually doing this video. I was supposed to just do the short comments, and I just kept going on like one of my normal comment reply videos, but I'll start doing that on my... Next time I make comment reply videos, I'm going to start making 2 videos where I go over the quick comments, so I can cover more people's comments, and then make maybe a longer video where I go over the deep comments. Because there's a lot of truth in the big comments, and they're important. But so is everybody simultaneously, so I'll just do it that way. But Pizza Lover wrote, yes, the spectrum, which one of you also mentioned, there's probably many different variants, not just one type of NPC. Oh yeah, there's probably definitely high-level NPCs. Like, they would come off like I think they would... No, man, that's even more fucking... Isn't it? It's just like even deeper into psychosis. Look, I don't know. There may be high-level one, so you could say like, well, Chris, or technically we're all still plugged into it, whatever it is. So technically, in a weird way, we're all NPCs. Now, I would say the few like us that become conscious that something is off here, I don't know if we're actual gamers playing the game. It seems like there's some sort of entity in the background playing us. But I don't know if we're real players. I don't know if we're just super awakened NPCs. I don't know if we're... I don't know what we are. I'm still confused about that myself. I do recognize I'm very different than the rest of these things. Amen. I know about that. Liberation from the Matrix wrote, Pizza Lover... at Pizza Lover, what do you mean several variants of NPCs? Like somewhere you can talk about the insanity of the world, but they will cleverly lead you somewhere into a lie? I guess there's also human avatars with demons incarnated in them. Well, where else would they lead you guys? I'm curious. Where else would they lead you guys? Nobody's going to lead you to the truth. So from your perspective, everybody could potentially be a shill. Don't you agree with what I say? Where there is no truth, and it's being hidden from us, or there's an infinite amount of almost truths and never an actual truth. The actual truth is we're being fed off of, and it's observable in the reality. They just take the people that can identify that to you, take them, put them in boxes. They do not let you communicate with these people. They pump them full, they dope them to the fucking gills full of psych meds and shrink their fucking brains down and damage them. I'm sorry, Pizza Lover wrote, Liberation from the Matrix. Yes, some are probably more advanced than others, some being able to mimic your behavior and you wouldn't even think for a second they would be AI, while some are easier to detect. The fact that I was asleep and not seeing these organic portals for what they were for 20 years frightens me. This is what tells me that they have some that are very, very advanced and human-like. Now they are all I see. For sure, there are definitely demons walking on this earth as well in human form, like the psychopaths or serial killers like Breivik. One of you replied back, I've seen this happen also. I just realized one of my buddies had come over years ago and told me how he was towing vehicles at the time, and he was in some other, I think he was in Georgia at the time, like he was near Florida, he was in Georgia or something, and he said he had lost his signal and he had pulled over his truck, and there was a gas station there and two guys were doing something with a car tire or something, like he said in the middle of the night. It was like 2 a.m. He said, and they had run over to his truck and he was looking for directions, and they had said, hey buddy, can you need help with something? And he just said to them, oh, I'm just pulling over, I lost my signal, whatever, I'm waiting to see where I'm going. And they explained to him, I guess, where he needs to go. He said, bro, and now keep in mind, he looked pretty beat up at this time. It looked like he may have been doing drugs. I don't know what was going on with him at the time. He looked off, but I instantly dismissed him. But he had said, one of them turned into like a lizard right in front of me, dude. He said, it scared the fucking shit out of me. He said there were two of them, they ran up, and think about how ignorant that was from my perspective. I had the same experience my buddy Ken did, and fucking I looked at him like he was crazy. The human brain is something very interesting when you think about it. He may have had the same exact experience I did, and I wasn't even aware of my own experience so much to the point that I judged him for being crazy. I thought, man, this dude's smoking meth or something, because he's looking like a drug addict right now. And I dismissed what he said, but he may very well been telling me the truth. Crazy, man. I actually shouldn't have judged him. I owe him an apology if I ever see him again. But anyways, I was like, dude, are you for real? Like, you think this dude turned into a lizard? No, I wasn't mean to him or nothing. Like, I heard him out. I heard his whole story. I listened to him. And I'm into phenomenon like that too, but I just dismissed him as a druggie, a junkie, or something like that. He looked like he was in really bad shape. And anyways, 2023 July, Dave Ross wrote, 2023 July, I do not think anybody wants to be awoke, but they do not want me to rest in peace. They want to be ignorant to dark topics and awake when it comes to other topics. And I need help. Who is batshit crazy? I guess me. I don't know, Dave. I think you're more conscious than the rest of these fucking NPC creatures, but that's just my opinion. He also commented, save yourself time. If you want to know a human slave, ask them their thoughts on suicide and euthanasia when it comes to their own children, but there could be difference between first child and last child. I hope not, but I do know I was a different father in my mid-20s than I am now. Keep up the good fight. I done fighting for others. I think he meant I'm done fighting for others. He also wrote, sometimes you need to let a person drowning drown. He or she do not want to not drown. Wait, what? I didn't understand. Sometimes you have to let somebody that's drowning drown. he or she do not want to not drown. You're saying that they want to drown? I don't get what you're saying. He or she do not want to not drown. Oh, you're saying they're committing suicide? So just let them die? I don't know about that. I think if I seen somebody drowning, I would try to help them. I'm not a great swimmer myself, so it'd probably end up being 2 motherfuckers drowning. But Dave Ross, I sink like a fucking rock when I go in water. I sink like a fucking stone. I have to fight to float. I think probably because I have a low body fat percentage, I think. Now I think about it, yeah, I guess that would make sense. Yeah, people, we'll say fat people float much easier than skinny people do. But Dave Ross wrote, solitude is a good teacher. It hurts, though. Oh, amen. That was a great comment. Solitude is a good teacher. It hurts, though. Amen. This is true. Great comment. The Age of Warriors wrote, this is a response to Jerry Marzinski's mind parasites playing good cop, bad cop to religious text psalms. Dude, that's a great comment. 23 and 91 in Gregorian music. I think it all has to do with... I'm sorry. I thought he was going in a different direction. I would say... Hold on. Kyung, I would say them pretending to run away from those psalms when you preach them is them playing the same role that's still going to get you trapped. Jesus is going to show up. You're going to say, see, and it's an energy existence. Be in a higher state of being. Being in a loving state's the highest you can get. And that's the ultimate truth, I think. He wrote, I think it all has to do with frequencies, and these mind parasites thrive on negativity. Amen. There's a striking resemblance in their negativity and what we hear in the mainstream news. According to Mr. Marzinski, his methods help his clients to quiet the voices in their heads. So to me, it makes sense that these negative mind parasites wouldn't like hearing positive things from religious positive music. Amen. When he was working, okay, so you're saying that the music's actually gets rid of the demons. They don't like, dude, I've heard that cleaning with pine sol keeps demons away because they hate the smell of pines or pine sol or something like that. Like, what the fuck? I'd say just be in a loving state and demons can't even come around you. That's proven. Or, yeah, well, from my perspective, that's proven. I can feel the presence of these things, to be honest with you now. And when you become aware of them, you will too. Again, that's like I say, like, I don't want to send everybody down this psychological path of fucking, because I may be driving motherfuckers crazy. Like, a lot of people may not be able to deal with that type of shit. But anyways, he wrote, there's a striking resemblance in their negativity and what we hear in mainstream news. Of course, yeah, all that is the branching arms of the thing happening. Technology, politics, the medical system. It's all it. It's like a fucking giant octopus in it with arms and everything. He wrote, according to Marzinski, his methods helps his clients to quiet the voices in their heads. So to me it makes sense, yeah, that this is true. So to me it makes sense that these negative mind parasites wouldn't like hearing positive things from religious positive music. Okay, so he's saying that I'll test it. Actually, Kyung, I'll test it later. I'll go and put on Gregorian. If I get into a negative state, I can almost feel the presence of these entities. I'll feel them around me, or it's like a dry, gritty electricity. I'll even hear them popping and shit. But, and I'll just put on Gregorian music and see if they go away while I'm in a negative state. I don't know. I would have to test it. But he wrote, when he was working in prison and mental hospitals, his higher-ups didn't like him making progress with schizophrenics. They prefer them to be completely doped up and dependent on the pharmaceutical drugs. Yeah, amen. To the point that they end up with what they call the Thorazine shuffle, where they just barely drag their feet around. They've literally, and what's crazy, the motherfuckers got busted and then tried to say that it was schizophrenia that was shrinking their brains, because they started doing autopsies on these Thorazine shuffle patients and realized they shrunk their brains down to a percentage of what they used to be. Literally down like to a 20% normal sized brain. Like, what the fuck? Shrunk their brains. And they're like, oh, that's it's not The drug's doing it to schizophrenia. So they gave the same drug to fucking mice and it shrunk their fucking brains. Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. You fucking demonic fucking idiots. They're just, they're pathetic. These low-level archon creatures, dude. Just disgusting. Disgusting, dude. They'll do anything. They're the most degenerate. I mean, when you imagine, when I say like the Ark, I don't know, people think of like this big, tall, powerful demon. Like, I don't know if you guys, when I picture it in my mind, it's almost like a drug addict that's been wearing the same clothes for 3 months straight, hasn't showered, hair's looking crazy, dirt on its face. It looks like a pathetic thing from my perspective. I don't see this big. I see how powerful it is in the realm. But when I identify it for what it is, I see it as a degenerate. When he was working in prisons and mental hospitals, his higher-ups didn't like him making progress with the schizophrenics. Amen. They prefer... I've watched probably 20 of these videos, and honestly, I don't want to say I guess he does kind of repeat the same stories over and over again. I wish he would go into new stories or tell different... But maybe he doesn't have enough stories. I don't know. He wrote... They prefer them to be completely doped up and dependent on pharmaceutical drugs because it took a very long time for him to break through to a lot of these motherfuckers. And I would say that even the psychiatrists themselves, the doctors that get disappointed with you when you question the voices, is them happening now. You know what I'm saying? That's the mind virus happening now. The same way when he was questioning what the voices were actually saying instead of just going, oh, they're delusions. He knew they weren't delusions. They had patterned behavior. So instead of, he questioned the voices and found patterned behaviors. Found instances where they were communicating with one another through people's minds. Other patients knew what other patients were talking about when they were talking to him. He would continue a conversation with one patient's voice with the next patient's voice. That makes no sense. Those aren't delusions. These are patterned. These things what we're saying, you know, you're interfering with our way of life. Who do you think you are? They were trying to talk down to him like he was this powerless thing. Well, it's like, well, why are you now having to talk through homeboy to tell me to back off and be scared? What are you scared of, little pussy fucking entity? Little parasite mind? What are you scared of? Are you afraid to be discovered? Is that the real truth, little pathetic mind parasite? You fucking degenerate. I love saying it, guys. I love saying it. I'm living in peace and harmony right now, and I still love saying it. There's nothing wrong with you. Hey, somebody just subscribed to me. Thank you. Hello, Nuba. Welcome to the Bizarro World channel of confusion and very deep topics. Jennifer Green wrote, I had a guy I was having sex with turn into a demon the one time. I let him tie me up. Oh my God. This fucking shit went 0 to 60 real quick. We had been seeing each other for like 9 months at the time, and I'd never seen anything like it before that. I haven't since either. When I got freaked out and expressed it to him, he said, how is that supposed to make me feel? In true narcissistic form. Whoa. Needless to say, I stopped seeing him right after that. See, now I wonder, was he all of a sudden being played by the thing in that moment? Like, is he always a demon, man, this dude that did this? Or is he being played by the thing in that moment? And that's the way it expresses itself. It turns into it looks demonic. Needless to say, I stopped seeing him right after that. Maybe that's too much information, but fuck it. I think these demons come out in people when we are literally bound and helpless. The demons work through humans. Yeah, so that's a scary thought. That's almost makes us a simulation being played by someone else. Like we are the video game for some other entity. But why does that entity, again, fear us discovering it, run in the presence of love? It goes away when you're in a loving state. Whatever the mind parasite is, so it's like, that's interesting. Or is that it playing me in this sort of dualistic drama of good versus evil? Oh, see, there is a good guy to get me to, like, you know, it runs its script to get me to feel at the Jesus show at the end too, you know what I'm saying? To come back into the fucking realm to be fed off of again and again and again. Amnesia, throw it back. Whoosh. Men in Black, throw it back. Whoosh. Men in Black, mind wipe, throw it back. Over and over and over and over like a broken record. This is a disgusting thought. That means that she got tied up and the entity all of a sudden activated that through that guy to experience what, a word I don't like to say, but she wrote, also I go to cemeteries several times a week. There are never any power lines at them. The ringing in my ears goes away and I can think better. That's funny. I've always sort of found it peaceful in graveyards too. That's why I found it interesting. 2 people had said something about being in graveyards or being attracted, going to, hanging out in, meditating in graveyards, and they are a very peaceful place. I've always sort of been attracted to them too, but I never actually went and hung out at one, to be honest, like to just go and sit there. But anyways, she wrote, it's like when I'm in the woods, but better. I think it has something to do with the ley line interactions at cemeteries and the clean energy current that's running through them due to the lack of artificial electricity. Pizza Lover replied back, that's not too much information. He was most likely an organic portal and an entity was using his body as a vessel because the entity wants to experience having intercourse. Yeah, but why didn't the entity come out when he was caressing her cheek? You know what I'm saying? It didn't want to experience intercourse. It wanted to experience somebody. It's a grotesque. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's fucking disgusting. These entities are always disgusting. Why didn't she see his face transform into this godly, heavenly form that had like a glowing halo? And all of a sudden he was like the most miraculous lover in bed that ever existed. No, it's always got to be, I got tied up and this fucking demon came out. It's just like, ugh, God. Everything this demon pukes out in this reality is disgusting. Pizza Lover wrote, oh, by the way, ley lines work on a much broader surface and not on cemeteries in particular from what I've gathered, but it sure could have something to do with the power lines not crossing there or something. Hero, I could see your reply in my notifications, but it's not showing up on replies. Did YouTube delete your comment? Sorted by the newest as well. I always try that, Pizza Lover, but it never comes back. I always do that. I sort it by newest first, but it's never there. Archon Illustrated, it just gets deleted. YouTube will delete comments that say too much truth. Just prove it to yourself. I have a video somewhere where I proved it in the video, like I showed. I refreshed the video. Oh, there, my comment's gone. You see, guys, you can't say this word. You can't say that word. I went over it in a video, but Archon's Illustrated wrote, excellent show, fellas. One of you made several great points, and Chris is always on top of his shit like no one I ever seen doing this. Thank you, Archon's Illustrated. That was a great compliment. He wrote, a lot of channels try to always play everything with a good ending or make copes. That's not what my research has found, so I'm glad Chris keeps keeping it real in that regard. Thank you. That's also a great compliment. He wrote, also enjoyed the long format. Thanks to both of the panel. You're welcome, Archons Illustrated. Always. One of you wrote, yes, thank you, Chris, for taking the time to talk. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good conversation. We should have another one. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.